Hello everyone, welcome to the first episode of Let's Talk E-commerce. It's all about exploring the world of e-commerce and retail businesses in the Middle East when we speak about Let's Talk E-commerce. So today I have our very special guest, Mr. Adriano Silva, Head of Middle East and APAC at VTEX, the most fastest growing platform globally. Today, in this podcast, we're going to talk about two very important topics. One of them is, of course, how retailers can perform better in the quarter four of 2025, and what are the global trends that we are looking forward to in 2026 when it comes to e-commerce. So, looking forward to this podcast.
Thanks for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here supporting you, Anurag, Tech Infotech, a very big, important partner for us. I'm so glad to be here, to be your first guest. I wish you the best of luck, and let's get started.
Thank you, Adriano. So my first question to you is, what excites you the most about the current state of e-commerce in Middle East?
I think it's a very good question. When we see the numbers in the region and people are saying about 3% e-commerce penetration, it reminds me like what emerging regions like Latin America, India, we were facing this 15 years ago when the e-commerce were kind of those numbers. So I would say the opportunity is amazing. Now it's the moment. So for me, it really excites a lot because the region is ready. The region is ready. If we see the numbers, Anurag, all the users, they are all digitalized, connected to social medias. The payment system is very strong. The government is supporting a lot the region. The population, we just reached 4 million people in Dubai recently, 10 million more in UAE. It's a small country compared to the others, but we have here what I call a hub for testing any product or any project. As you know, we have 200 plus nationalities, more than 2,000 languages speaking here. So the diversity in this country is amazing. So if you want to test a product to launch in any other country of the globe, I think Dubai can be considered the hub to test those products. I think in terms of developments, growing, everything is double digit. So it really excited me, and mainly the diversity that we can find in this region.
Amazing, well said. Let's talk about the big quarter, which is Q4 2025. Yeah. And the biggest question is why Q4 is so important for retailers in the Middle East and specifically in the GCC region.
So it's the last quarter of the year. I think we say we are all running late, but mainly this region, we know the last quarter is after the summer, so summer is almost over, let's say. People are coming back to our region. Some of them, they went on vacation, the residents, and we were discussing this before. Here in this region, the diversity of all the Arabic GCC countries is very complex. But even when we talk about UAE, we can see this complexity here as well. But we have two kinds of consumers, if we can call like this. We were discussing this some weeks back. Residents and tourists. Yeah. So it's interesting because a lot of people are coming here for traveling now, so the economy is picking up. And on the other hand, you have people who are living here in the region. So I would say Q4 is the quarter, the most important quarter, because again, summer is almost over, school are back, traffic, people are coming to Dubai, and companies and all the e-commerce mainly, they need to be prepared to capture those opportunities and to obviously see how they are going to handle the trade-off of the growth versus the quality versus how to supply the products in the correct way and delivering the best user experience as well.
Sure. And as you rightly mentioned, Q4 is all about holidays, right? A lot of people traveling to Dubai. So, do you see any change in e commerce behavior when it comes to Q4 specifically? Do you see consumer behaviors on e commerce changing as compared to other quarters in the year?
I would say every time or every year we see a smart consumer in a way that they have more information now. So let's say that AI adoption is now more than ever a reality.
Yeah.
Most of us are using all the ChatGPT AI platforms to get more information about the products and even recommendations. So I would say this year is maybe I can call a special year because everyone is talking about AI. Consumers are more educated about it. But again, I see as an opportunity how we grow the online penetration here because the government is investing. And to be honest, the penetration is still low if you compare to other countries, right? 3%, 4%. Obviously, the Vision 2030 is very aggressive, but I think there is a disconnection, Anurag. And, for example, we know here people, they like to go to the mall, to the shopping mall. So the online is there, yes. Obviously, there is a convenience, obviously. But I would say omnichannel can play an important role in this Q4 to attend all the consumers' necessity.
So, what unique shopping behavior or consumer behavior do you see in the Middle East, specifically in quarter four?
Let's say, given that we have this disconnection or this opportunity to have more omni-channel approach in terms of how we connect the physical experience with the online experience, or how we unify the journeys between online with the offline world, I think this is still keep being a challenge for many companies and many e-commerces here. When we talk about, I have been asking people, what is the main platform you use to buy online? And the answers are still the marketplaces from abroad. So I think there is still room for improvements for the local brands from UAE, from Saudi, GCC, to improve their commerce experience. But again, Anurag, I would say we have the online trendings that we can discuss, but also there is another opportunity in the service part. Because again, when consumers go to the physical stores and they want to have a unified customer experience, I think still the companies are suffering, challenging to unify that experience.
So, from a tech and marketing perspective, what are the top three challenges do you think a retailer faces in Q4 2025?
So I would say omnichannel experience, I think, is still a very important challenge and opportunity for many companies, how they can unify the online experience with the offline experience. So the consumer who is in the store, visiting the store, the salespeople, they can unify the experience and see that that customer, they were search some products online and they can even recommend some other products. So this unification, I think, is still a challenge. Second, I would say inventory. So inventory today, we know, given the many of the products are imported from abroad, supply chain, logistic, last mile, people, they want the product to be delivered now in 15, 20 minutes. I think this is still a big challenge in this region. And third, I would say today, the service part, the consumer engagement, I think there is a big opportunity because as we discussed, we have tourists, we have residents. So how companies can build that branding and that loyalty, that engagement with consumers or customers, thinking more in the long term.
So, Q4 is all about promotions and discounts. So, how do you think brands can stand out without slashing the prices? And if you know any brand which is your personal favorite that has nailed the Q4 strategy?
That's a very good question, Anurag. And I think here companies and brands, they are missing that consumer engagement. For example, in our case, we have what we call live shopping. It's a very good tool to generate this engagement with the consumers, where companies are educating the consumers, they are providing services, they are providing discounts, they are providing some experiences to those customers, they are using celebrities, influencers to provide some value-added services to those customers. I would say, as you mentioned, companies today, they are only looking at price, but I think there are some promotions that companies can use, thinking more about long-term relationship with the customers. And as we discussed it before, the omni-channel approach is still a very good way to unify the experience. We have a customer recently, they are discussing how they can unify the fun experience for their consumers, where they are putting together some subscriptions program where customers can subscribe and they can have access to different benefits. And I think this is another way to increase this engagement with the consumers.
Amazing, amazing. Let's talk about some trends for 2026. So what are the biggest trends that you see shaping up in 2026 globally and specifically in the Middle East?
So obviously, when we see commerce, everyone talk about B2C, which is certainly is the big market. But in our case, we are seeing B2B as a very big opportunity. So companies, they can sell their products directly to consumer, or they can sell to other companies or sales representatives in other B2B channels. So in our case, B2B is a very important channel right now, and we are digitalize the e-commerce for many companies in this region right now. The other one is marketplace. So companies, they can also become a marketplace. They can onboard sellers, they can extend their catalog, and this is a very important, let's say, functionality to be competitive against the competitors in the market. A mobile first approach. So obviously users are using more their cell phones. So obviously we are helping companies to have this mobile first approach or on mobile apps. And finally, I would say last mile. So as consumers, they are having necessity to be delivered faster products. We are also working on this last mile approach to compete against global
Sure.
players.
Amazing. So you mentioned about AI being a buzzword throughout 2025. We have seen people talking about AI. So do you think AI from being a buzzword to becoming a business critical element in 2026? And where do you see the maximum impact happening in AI space?
Yeah, and we have been discussing this with many colleagues in the industry. As you mentioned, everyone is trying, working, using AI right now. Obviously, the most difficult part, I was talking this week with some expert, was how to find the ROI of the AI in the right balance. And finally, we were discussing what is going to be next after AI, because people are talking about this industry 4.0 with AI, and in industry 5.0 could be even the return of human touch. So we strongly believe that AI is part of our life. We are using in our company, we are seeing our customers, and it's a way to complement the user experience. And obviously, with the new generations. So now the new generations, they are using more and more the mobile. So certainly AI will play a very important role.
So Adriano, do you think headless and composable architecture is going to go mainstream in 2026 in the GCC region?
This is a very good question, Anurag. We always say that when you are building a project like e-commerce, the first thing is to build the right architecture. It's like when you are
Absolutely.
raising a building, and you are right. Headless architecture give the flexibility for companies to choose what is the best in terms of functionalities. And people, they are looking for this. They don't want that 360 platform anymore that you have to use, buy all the license, and you are not take advantage of the 100% of the product. So I think headless, we have seen more and more people using this region, mainly because they have the knowledge. When people have the knowledge, they can dominate the complexity of the headless. So yes, you are right. We are seeing a lot of requirements in terms of the headless, not only in GCC region, but let's say in Asia and overall, people are asking for those kind of approach.
Sure. And as you know, there are other GCC countries which are picking up, and they are also in the e-commerce game now. So, which country do you think will lead the e-commerce game in 2026, and why?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I would say between UAE and Saudi, I think those are the main, let's say, contenders. Obviously, UAE is a little bit more advanced. The government has been pushing AI, but I would say Saudi I have seen a lot of improvement there, a
Yeah.
lot of movement in terms of size. Obviously, Saudi has the big opportunity if you say in terms of size. So I would say between those two countries, we have seen the more movements to be one of the most contenders.
Amazing. That's an honest answer. So you've seen countries like China and India leading the social commerce and live shopping functionalities, and they have incorporated in most of their platforms. So do you think social commerce and live shopping in particular is going to impact the GCC e-commerce domain?
Yeah, I think it's a very good opportunity for this market that we can unlock in 2026. Most of the sales in China, 30% of the sales are already through live shopping. So we see the power of the influencers, celebrities there. Same in India. India is a very strong market. So I would say this is one of the very quick wins opportunities in 2026 to use live shopping. We see a lot of fashion brands here, B2C channels. There are a lot of celebrities, influencers, and those social media channels that they can use and take advantage of live shopping for sure.
Sure. And we have seen this trend wherein the retailers are now offering same day delivery. Do you see this trend going further in 2026?
I think yes, because again, we are seeing this immediate trend in the region now with companies delivering 15 minutes, last mile
Yes.
competition. So one thing that we saw very interesting when we see the search, people are searching for products to be delivered same day. Like they are not even search a cloth, a t-shirt. They say products to be delivered same day directly from the search. So it's certainly same day delivery is going to be a very good opportunity. And we have seen not only same day, during the night. We have seen some retailers doing special delivery during the
Yes.
night, same day. So I think there are many niches that they can attack.
Sure. And what do you expect whether marketplace is still going to gain some ground in 2026, or D2C brands will lead the game in 2026?
That's a very good question. Obviously, marketplace are gaining market and there are a lot of room, but direct to consumer, D2C, I think this is still a very good and powerful channel to be explored because you can take advantage of your brand.
Sure.
Like it's not that you are going to cannibalize the other channels. The direct to consumer usually is a very good channel for you to take advantage of the data that you can obtain from the market from your customers.
Sure.
Because when you work with marketplace, sometimes you cannot have access to the data of your customers. When you do the direct to consumer, I think it's a very good way strategy for you to obtain data from your customers and to see how you can improve your process, your products, and have a better go-to-market.
Makes sense. Amazing answer, Adriano. Time for my personal favorite round. Let's make it a fun round.
Sure.
It's a rapid fire. So I'll start with first question. Also, at a personal front, which e-commerce feature do you like the most? Not as a e-commerce professional, but personally, any feature that excites you.
For me, the search is very important because today we have many products. Sometimes you don't know what you are looking for. And when I go to a search and they are already recommending based on my history, based on my IP, for me, something that called a lot my attention. And I think that's a very good advantage. When companies know you better, they will recommend you what you are looking for. So for me, search is indeed one of the functionality which improves conversion rate for the e-commerce.
Amazing. Search is my personal favorite as well. So as a digital shopper, are you a shopper which shops online during the night, or you prefer going to malls during the weekend?
Wow, I'm still old school, so I'm still the one who go to the mall. We go to explore the mall to see the products. And Anurag, I think the opportunity is when I go to the mall and I enter in a store, no one is approaching me to say, Adriano, here you have a cashback and you can even buy online. So I think maybe an opportunity is how companies can use the physical stores to digitalize the consumers and give to them some loyalty subscriptions, some benefits, as we were discussing.
Yeah, makes sense. And are you a holiday season buyer or a buyer which plans in advance, or like you're a last minute buyer?
I would say I'm both. I'm both.
Okay.
Because during the holiday season, I'm always looking for the best discounts. I start to compare, and obviously I'm looking for products that can fit that season to give some gifts to my wife, to my friends, to my colleagues. So for sure, holidays is always a good season for me. But also, if you have special promotions during no seasonal periods, for me is also a good way to buy. A good way to buy.
Interesting. I want you to wear your investor hat, and if I ask you to invest 1 million in a e-commerce idea, what that idea will be?
Look, that I'm a fan in this region of was discussed with a friend the concept of puppy lovers or pet lovers. So I think in regions like this, people they have more pets, and nowadays they are decided to have a pet instead of having a kid. So I think pets is a very interesting market where people are willing to spend some more money there. So I think there is a very good opportunity in this market, as many others.
Sounds interesting. One last question. How do you describe e-commerce in one word for the Middle East region?
Unify experience.
Amazing. Some quick choices. Noon or Talabat?
None of them. Sorry.
Give me a third option.
I would prefer to buy from a local marketplace that hopefully soon you will be born at.
Okay. Marketplace or D2C brands?
D2C brands.
Speed or personalization?
Speed.
AI assistant or human support?
Human support. I still believe in
why?
human support. As we discussed, surveys are showing that customer service is still an area for improvement. Now companies, they are using their customer services area to digitalize consumers. So now they are approaching consumers in a much more proactive way. So they are having another role, not only if I receive a call, I wait to no, they are interacting with the customers in different channels, via WhatsApp, via social media. They are being much more proactive. So for me, customer support is going to play a very important role, mainly because now, as we discussed, services is still something that companies are looking for when they are buying online or offline.
So as you have drawn a lot of insights on the e-commerce trends in 2026, you spoke about AI, you spoke about social commerce, you spoke about live shopping. How do you see VTEX enabling retailers for this shift which is happening in 2026?
I think it's, as we discussed, 3% e-commerce penetration. It's a very low penetration for this market. Obviously, the government wants to grow the e-commerce to $100 billion by 2030, and the GDP will be close to 1 trillion. So we are talking about 10% by 2030. So VTEX, without a doubt, what we want is to increase the pie. I was discussing with some colleagues here is not about having this or that platform, but how can we change the mindset of the people who are there, the CTOs, the CMOs. Some of them, they want to do all the developments in-house. They want to not lose that authority, autonomy of the product. So we are helping them, educating them to say, no, the core business of your company is not necessarily the technology, giving coding, maintenance to the software as in the past, or keeping their on-premises solution or data center. Mm-hmm. No, the core business of your company is to sell, to improve your customer experience, to provide a better service, to think about your roadmap, which innovations you are going to do in the future. So from VTEX, we want to deliver this speed to this go-to-market to our customers here. We want to help them to monetize their online and offline channels through those e-commerces. We want to open up new channels, which I call how we manage to supply demand, enabling the new channels and new ways of doing e-commerce in the markets.
Amazing. So that brings us to the end of the episode. Thank you so much, Adriano, for sparing some time and sharing these insights with us. It is always a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you so much, Anurag, for the invitation. Thanks the audience. Appreciate it.
So thank you everyone for tuning in. I hope you liked the conversation as much as I did. I hope you enjoyed the session. Don't forget to subscribe to Let's Talk E-Commerce YouTube channel. I'll see you next time. Stay curious, stay innovative, and let's explore the world of e-commerce together.